Hello everyone, this is Warnock Gamer 4 coming to you with a challenge run using the Visage shield. The Visage shield is a nice big old great shield that's capable of breathing fire with a good amount of damage output. Let's start with just naming ourselves John Elden Ring, the Wretch, with the cracked pots as our keepsake item. Now let's start by embracing death. If the boss could hit us first, that is. Get out into the world and actually get started. Punch Vare in the face for good luck and for calling us maidenless. Quickly grab a spare pot and get bullied by wolf boys. Get our trusty steed and quickly make our way to Caelid. Along the way we say hi to good old Alexander and the Big D. Quickly skimmy around the area where we would get invaded normally, and here we are in Caelid. Small detour to grab a cracked pot. Head inside to get the shield. But now we have a slight problem. It's guarded by two bosses. Now unfortunately there is no way of getting the shield without killing the two bosses. So we are going to prepare for when we get the great shield. Go up the ladder. Get the medallion piece, and die for failing to jump onto the ledge. Quickly ignore the rats to get the source seal just in case for future use. And go to the other fort in Caelid to get the Starscourge heirloom. Buy pots from the first merchant in the game. Get the cookbook that will allow us to make fire bombs. Quickly get the green spill crystal tier for more stamina, and also the Visage. Go down the game's longest elevator ride, and get to the merchant that sells the recipe to make oil pots, with also grabbing ourselves a somber smithing stone 5. And after doing a bit of material farm, and bought the finger seal, do a quick little level up, and after a revisit to Fort Gale for a fire buff incantation, we still fail to get through the boss. So off we go to get more pots. Grab the jellyfish shield along the way, a bit of grave robbery, get into the manor, avoid the hands, and get the last cracked pot for now. Now it's time to quickly dispatch the pumpkin heads with firebombs and the club. And the Visage shield is now ours. But unfortunately I don't have the stats to wield it yet. So after a few upgrades and getting the other half of the medallion, I do a bit more grave robbing and loot the glintstone key. I use it to quickly go through the gates and reach the lift, find the shield talisman, get a somber smithing stone 6, and make my way to Volcano Manor to get a somber smithing stone 7. Getting somber 8 and 9 are easy as they are just there to be looted from a scarab and from a lootable corpse in North Caelid. With the shield reinforced to 9, we just need to level up in order to use it. And what better way to level up by killing the giant unmoving dragon near Fort Farum. The only problem is the amount of health we have to chip away with about 90,000 HP. It took about 50 minutes of bashing with the shield in order to kill it. But after that we get a whopping 72,000 runes with the pickled foul foot helping us. After some quick leveling up and a quick damage test, we go onward to the Lux ruins to get the ritual sword talisman. Also pick up the Fire Scorpion Charm for more fire damage. And lastly, the Flame Shroud Cracked Tear from the tree avatar in Caelid. Even though we can't equip all the talismans yet, we are more than ready for market.
Emboldened by the flame.
But before we properly fight him, we need to get something from trusty old Patchet, which is Margit's Shackle. With some quick buffs, we enter the boss arena, use the shackle, and chunk his health down. The only thing that's stopping us now is the lack of stamina. Now after a few level ups, we just power through Godric's castle. Kill a few annoying birds along the way. Also kill a giant. After running with some pots, I make my way into the castle's secret area to get a golden seed from the putrid tree snake. With that out of the way, it's time to burn Godric. It was pretty easy. Then again, I'm pretty over leveled for this area and boss. After burning Godric to death, we feed a blind woman an eyeball because why not?
Now I can feel you are most kind. May the blessing.
Kill a giant archer. Eliminate the lonesome misbegotten for some extra runes. Witness the unfortunate murder of Big D. Eliminate Royal Knight Loretta's spirit. And now it's time to upgrade the Visage shield to plus 10. With invading and quickly leaving with the finger sever. And get the maiden blood from the Church of Inhibition. And we can finish Rare's quest and go to Mogwyn's palace. With that, we make our way up and try to ignore the enemies in the way, but die a horrific death. We instead sneak to the front using the structures to get the final somber upgrade material. With the shield at plus 10, we could start doing even more damage to the enemies with the flames. Man, just look at that damage. It's actually quite good against NPC invaders. Now we just need the final piece of buff, and we get that from eliminating Commander O'Neill and getting his spear for maximum damage. And after testing the damage on other enemies, I'd say it's pretty damn good. Of course, if you don't get overwhelmed, that is. Bosses also tend to power through the flames, just to smack you, or to dunk you. So for this boss, I just started to bash with the shield. After I receive the runes, I proceed to level up and challenge even more bosses. Just sneaking around, lads. Don't mind me. Now this boss, the big red wolf, was annoying to fight. Too mobile to hit with the shield flames. Killed me 4 times before I put him down. Had to resort to shield bashing for the kill. Afterwards, I got bullied by a bunch of pots. Quickly disposed of the carrion knight. And now it's time to face Rennala. Her first phase is easy, but the second phase is what struck me down. After 2 more deaths, I was able to beat her with some fire and shield bashing. It's just a lot of running away from the spirit she summons during her second phase, and using opportune moments to deal damage. Once that was done, I went to kill an omen killer. And went on my way to beat Radon. At first I tried not to use summons, but after I died from a leg sweep, and 4 more times, I decided why not. It's part of the fight. With Radon dead, I gain a few level ups. Burn a few enemies to a crisp. Make my way down the tower, ignoring the enemies along the way. Eliminate this black flame guy to avenge all the bloodstains in the area. And now it's time to kill another Godskin boss that I unfortunately died to 4 times, but he couldn't resist the shield bashing. Afterwards I go down to Necron, burning and ignoring everything along the way. Fight myself who couldn't take the heat. Activate pillars and get wrecked. Now it's time to fight the Regal Ancestor Spirit. He wasn't that hard, just very time consuming with the health he regenerates. With more juicy runes around my belt, I go around and sneak around the area, and eventually reach the Gargoyle Gank duo. And after dying 4 times, and learning that the first gargoyle can be cheesed off the cliff, I used all that I learned to kill him. With this boss fight down and going up the Wacky Coffin elevator, I burned down another tree avatar, and raid an ant colony for those delicious gold runes. Now it's time to go up some tree roots, turn in some gold runes, do a bit of leveling, die by the simp sorcerer 2 times, and eliminate all of Fia's simps. God, I'm so lonely. Now that that's done, after burning some big-eyed bastards, I make my way through the Lake of Rot, find a cool-looking mushroom cap hat, and wear it for this area, but still die. After traversing through the rot, I get into another cool-looking coffin to fight the natural born of the void and get eaten multiple times. That's when I decided to go farm for runes to level up my health and stamina. Also went to get the golden scarab to help gain more runes. The farm was fairly easy, with the only problem being the red enemies, but you can trick them off the cliff, and the grey ones don't aggro till you hit them. So it's easy pickings. With some extra gold runes, I now have over 1,000,000 runes for level ups. With the improved health and stamina, I had a run-in with Margit's clone outside the capital and burned him alive. Just had to accommodate my inventory quickly for the battle. With Margit dead again, I make my way up to fight the Draconic Tree Sentinel. After sneaking my way behind him and giving him the biggest ass burn in history, I go back to the giant Voidborn boss for a rematch. And after 6 more deaths to this boss, finally took it out on the 7th try. Just ran away whenever it would do an AoE attack. And I would try to hit it on the face as much as I could have. But just like any other boss, it couldn't take shield bash. After taking out the Abomination of the Void, I hightailed it through the Leyndell capital to fight the Spirit of Godfrey. It took only 2 tries to beat this boss. With both of us dying at the same time, I know I won because I got to find the talisman pouch. Now it's time to finally eliminate Margot for the final time. And after just one death, I used the shackle on him and brought him to Fire Breath City. Not gonna lie, he almost got me the second time, but he burned it nonetheless. After talking to Melina about eco-terrorism, I make my way to the mountaintop of the giants, eliminating anything that gets in my way, including a giant hand. Which as a reward just gave me an incredibly shitty gold rune. The fire giant is next on the victim list. And after getting squashed like a bug, and a good old 12 more times, I slay the fire giant in the 13th run. In the first phase, I just hugged his weak foot for most of the time, trying to avoid his swipe attacks that can nearly kill me, avoiding the fire whenever I can, in the second phase I attacked his hands and face whenever he gave me the chance, and avoided the attacks by staying as far away as possible. With enough shield bashing, the fire giant falls just like the rest, and we make our way onward. And after Melina dies from a fatal hand-holding incident, we get teleported to the floating ruins of Farum Azula, save Alexander with some baby oil, fight a dragon in the way, and find Alexander taking a bath. After being sidetracked and ignoring all the enemies in the area, I get ambushed by the Godskin gank squad and died 3 times in the encounter before I resorted to summoning a gank squad of my own. With the Mimic and the NPC summons, we were able to cut down the Godskins with relative ease. The Mimic died nearly instantly with only it being +4. But the NPC summon survived the entire fight because of his lifesteal. And with me and the NPC bullying the boss, I push ahead, making my way to Alexander. And with his final request being a fight, I try to burn him, but he's immune to fire, so it's just time to bash him. And with his final breath, he gives me the last talisman I need for max damage output for my shield's fire breathing skill. Now I make my way up to the area boss, level up along the way, but now I have to deal with the draconic tree sentinel in the way. And with no easy way to somewhat cheese him, I have to fight him the normal way. After dying 2 times, I burn him and bash him to death. With the sentinel out of the way, we make our way and fight the beast cleric. And after fighting and dying a whopping 22 times, I learned his patterns. Counterattack whenever he does his dagger stab. Jump whenever he uses his AoE claw attack. And for phase 2, run away at the start of the fight, so I don't get hit by the slam AoE. Stay around his crotch area so when he does an overhead, he misses and I can attack comfortably. And use the pillars to avoid his ranged attacks. With Malik out of the way, we can now make our way to the final parts of the game. After touching the completely safe red figure with child-friendly fire, we make our way to the final stretch of bosses in the game. Sir Gideon, the All-Knowing, died by not knowing how to dodge fire. With Gideon dead, now we fight Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. And after getting smacked, grabbed, and body slammed over 22 times, I eventually learned how to dodge or defend against most of his attacks. Just look at all those cheesy bloodstains. With Godfrey, I hugged his right side for attack opportunities, burned him whenever I could've, counterattack whenever he'd used the slam AoE, and jump whenever he'd use the unblockable stomp AoE. In the second phase, I had to dodge his grab attacks, try to get behind him for free hits, and make my best impression as a turtle by taking as many hits as I can from his stomps, because if you get in contact by the initial hit of the unblockable stomps, you don't get damaged. And now with the WWE Champion down for the count, we can make our way to the last two bosses. With touching the light, now we fight Radagon of the Golden Order. His attacks penetrate through my shield defenses with holy damage, so I can't turtle like I would usually do. I will have to learn to dodge his attacks as I suffer. And after dying 8 times to just Radagon, I set him ablaze and beat him with no way of healing myself. But with the fall of Radagon comes the true final boss. And after dying another 14 times in a row to both Radagon and the Elden Beast, I got my senses together and beat Radagon again with barely any healing. Dodging and defending against most of his attacks, and hit him when he would leave himself vulnerable after his AoE hammer slams. Now with Radagon truly out of the picture, it's time to slay the final boss. Now the Elden Beast is a really annoying boss to fight with its fire breath, large sword swipes and slams, it running away whenever you get too close to it, giant AoE attacks, its scary ass grabs, and finally its homing projectiles that follow wherever you go and last too damn long. So after this game of cat and mouse, I finally killed the Elden Beast. With that done, I became the Elden Lord and beat Elden Ring with the Visage shield. Not gonna lie, the run was annoying at times with the lack of protection, but that's my own fault for running naked. And I didn't know you can directly swap from the greatshield skill to guard mode without having to wait to put the shield down when you stop using the skill. That would have saved me from many deaths. Shame that I learned about it when I was fighting Godfrey near the end of the game. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me stay motivated to make more videos. Bye!